that this car, this crashed, mangled up rust bucket, fetched nearly $2 million. What's going on, guys? This mangled up old school Ferrari from the 1950s crashed. No wheels, no engine. Well, it comes with an engine, but not the original engine. Absolutely killed it at the auction house because, well, number one, it was a race car, but number two, of course, it was made by Ferrari. But seriously, check out the pictures. This is pretty insane. A clear demonstration of the haves versus the have-nots. So despite the economy not being the best, or a lot of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, or a lot of people around the world living paycheck to paycheck, despite all this, there's always somebody out there willing to shell out $2 million for a mangled up piece of metal. Pretty insane. In all fairness though, this car was one of 13, the second one made in a factory in 1954, and it was in a race at the Coppa della Toscana in 1954. Only one of 13 Spider models. So, that the ultra wealthy can spend nearly $2 million on a mangled piece of metal. Pretty insane. I was shocked. This auction was, what, 10 days ago or so? Link provided if you want to check it out. I mean, the pictures themselves are crazy because it's even on a sort of a furniture moving cart. On top of that, check out the background for the pictures that they post for the auction. It's pretty insane. It's like literally looks like an abandoned basement. Some people just have way crazy amounts of money. They don't know what to do with it. But anyways, moving on to EVs. Well, report after report after report has come out this whole year that Americans just don't want EVs. Billions and billions of dollars from the government are given in incentives, not just to the manufacturers, but also to consumers in credits, tax credits, so that you can offset how much you spend on your EV. Well, this is not enough for people to buy them. It's not enough motivation. The point is, there are some dealer groups that basically started rejecting electric vehicles on the dealerships themselves because their turnaround time, they can't sell them enough. Anyone and everyone who wanted to jump on the bandwagon, well, they already got their EVs, and now they're harder to sell. For example, Business Insider, they quoted a dealership group, basically a company that owns a lot of dealerships in a bunch of states. This CEO was quoted as saying that they have to turn away inventory, EV inventory specifically, with the CEO saying that the average gas car, sits on a lot for about 54 days. But EVs are sitting on the lot for over twice that time. That means they can't sell them. They can't sell them. What's wild is that 43% of people have said that those tax incentives have no impact on their decision to get an EV whatsoever. That's pretty insane because there's a lot of money that's being thrown at EV manufacturers, at EV production, and even mining for, of course, the special minerals. Billions and billions of dollars. So in the end, even if we don't buy EVs, guess what? We pay for it to some degree. Because of course, no matter if we buy them or not, the more money they throw at EVs, well, guess what? Where do they get this money from? Well, it's printed out of thin air, which means it adds to inflation overall, which means that we end up subsidizing it no matter which way you look at it. Pretty crazy. Anyways, moving on. Colorado, pretty wild. They're actually beginning to accept crypto and Bitcoin via PayPal to guess what? Apparently, it's for all of your DMV needs, not just car registration. So the DMV will accept crypto, for example, for your driver's license, registration, identity cards, I'm guessing registration renewals as well. Pretty wild for them to take this giant step. But I actually don't think this is a good idea for Bitcoin or crypto adoption. The reason why is because, number one, they charge you fees, of course. PayPal also charges you fees. And number two, it's not a direct transaction from crypto to the DMV in Colorado. It's actually just using PayPal, sort of a middleman. So essentially, you're just basically paying PayPal to convert your crypto, Bitcoin into basically dollars. And then the DMV receives your payment. So it's like, what's the point? I don't know. On top of all that, you got to keep in mind that despite the fees that are being added by Colorado, the state, by PayPal, you also have to pay some kind of capital gains tax as soon as you convert your crypto, as soon as you basically move it around. You have to pay tax on that stuff. So this whole thing will just add another layer of complexity to your taxes. I guess you don't have to pay capital gains tax if, well, you didn't gain anything. But nonetheless, it will complicate things for you. And if you don't do it, if you don't put it in your taxes, I mean, the state's gonna know because of course you just paid the state. But I don't know. It just seems a little crazy to me. Not in a good way, not in a good way. Well, let me know if you think something differently because I think it's pretty crazy. All right, guys, well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Smash the like if you haven't. Please do subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.